How's everyone doing? Welcome back to another live stream. We have the weekly close to the crypto market tonight, and we have an incredibly significant week coming up next week. We're going to talk about all of that in today's live stream. So smash the likes as you're tuning in. Get your questions in the chat. It's going to be a great live stream. We've got a lot to get into. So let's kick it off. Now, I apologize, first of all. Yesterday's stream, I had the wrong microphone on. The microphone from my camera was indeed the microphone that you could hear. Hopefully the audio is more smooth in this live stream, okay? But anyway, weekly close. We love the weekly closes. They're always very significant, especially during these times in the markets where we're trying to get above very significant resistance. And what we can see is Total 3 has a very important weekly close. Okay, Bitcoin has a somewhat important weekly close, so does Ethereum, but Total 3's weekly close is indeed very, very significant. And if we zoom in here, we can see exactly why. So I'm going to pull it onto the 1 week chart, and you can see that Total 3 is currently sat just below resistance. 1.16 trillion is the all-time high of Total 3. And as of right now, it is currently about to close the week below that critical resistance. So that wouldn't necessarily be the most bullish thing in the world. Ideally, we want to get a close above it. Now, there's still a good number of hours left until the weekly close, so it is possible we could get a bit of a push up if the market makers want that. Or it could just happen next week. Just because we get a rejection initially does not mean that we're going to go all the way back down to the range lows. That's not what it means. It just means that there's a chance of that. There's a chance of some chop because obviously it is potentially a rejection here. So it's a 3% move or so to get to that high. Now, I'm of the belief if we don't do it this week, we'll probably do it next week. But it's just something to be aware of as potential resistance. And you guys know me, right? I'm going to tell you on the channel what I'm seeing. No BS. I'm going to show you the risks. I'm going to show you the good things as well. I'm going to show you the good, and I'm going to show you the bad. So get your questions in the chat. There's 136 people watching live. For some reason, I can't see the comments right now unless no one's put one in. Let me just take a quick look. We can barely hear you. Is that better? Voice is quiet. Is that better? Maybe I'm a bit louder now. This is the problem. When you have these podcast mics, they are so quiet. Even if you put the gain on max, it can still be very, very quiet. So hopefully the audio is okay. Yep, now better, much better. All right, appreciate everyone confirming. All right, anyway, this weekly close is extremely significant. Now, obviously, some people are going to say if we fail to close above it this week, then we're going to come straight back down. There's a chance that could happen. There's a chance we reject here and come back down. But I honestly think even if we don't close above it this week, we probably will next week just based off where the RSIs are. The RSIs aren't even that high, so I doubt we'll reject at this level. Like, it's very rare you have a top and an RSI that's this low. So I doubt that. I personally think we are on board to go for that 1.618 fib. And then if we get above that, then I'd be looking at the 2.618 fib on Total 3. Now, for those of you who don't know, Total 3 is the total market cap of all the cryptos, excluding BTC and ETH. That is exactly what the Total 3 chart is. A lot of you guys in the chat are talking about the recent call on Avantis. Very, very happy that a lot of you guys are printed on it. Really, really happy indeed. I mean, look, this is the last time I had Avantis on the screen. Let's just update the price, see where it is. There we go, 82. It's up 82% today, 94% in, no, 81% today, and 175% in the last 7 days. I gave the call for Avantis at 28 cents. 28 cents is the price I gave the call for, and we are already at 81 cents, and it looks like it's going for $1. It was even higher earlier on today. A couple guys in the VIP told me they've made 6 figures on this buy alert in 3 days. 3 days. And people tell me, well, not many, but some people say that my membership is expensive. 3 days of being a member, they made 6 figures. I mean, maybe I should be up in the price, right? That's what I think anyway. But everyone's very happy right now in the chats. Very, very happy. But I want to talk about what's coming up this upcoming week. So we have the weekly close tonight. I've told you about potential resistance here, but I've told you I'm not too worried about it considering where some of the other things are. Another thing to look at is dominance's weekly close. This is going to be incredibly important. If dominance closes below the trend line, if dominance closes where it is right now, this is on track for an incredibly, incredibly bullish weekly close for the altcoins. A terrible weekly close for dominance, but an amazing weekly close, if I can say it, for the altcoins. And that is because it would be closing below a multi-year support level that every single time we have come in contact with, we have gotten a bounce. Incredible stuff. And I called the top, as you know, on dominance up here, while many YouTubers were telling you it was going higher. I pivoted out of Bitcoin and pivoted into altcoins right at the right time. Bitcoin's weekly close is honestly fine. Above 109, above 111. It's a good weekly close as far as I'm concerned. Now, there's a few trade potential opportunities here. A few potential trade opportunities. I said it all the wrong way around. Say is one of them. It looks like it's on track to have a macro breakout. First time it's done this in years. This has been the story of Say its entire history has been a downtrend ever since it shot up to around $1. Ever since we hit that level, it's just been down only. And you can see I sent a buy alert out for Say as low as 15 cents. That's looking like an amazing call right now. But it looks like we're going to be getting a weekly close on Say above the trend line, above the resistance for the first time. So I'm considering a potential trade on Blowfin on Say. Potential trade. Currently, I have 2 trades open, one on Bitcoin, one on Pepe. Both of them are in nice profits. And if you want to trade, then make sure to sign up using the link down below. There is a current offer available. If you hit that link, you'll see it. Massive potential promos you can get up to $1,000 basically for free. So check it out. But most importantly, we have next week the decision by the Fed. That is the most important thing of the entire month. And that is on Wednesday. Wednesday is the day. Wednesday is the day. Federal funds rate decision, FOMC statement, both occurring on Wednesday. We expect a rate cut. We expect them to bring the rate from 4.5% down to 4.25%. That is what we're expecting. However, there is a slight chance of a 50 basis point cut. Not likely, but there's a slight chance of it. So if that happens, it is going to be the biggest fuel to the fire you've ever seen for an economy. Okay, it's really going to send asset prices soaring if that happens. But really what we're listening to is what Powell says. We know they're going to cut. Unless they cut 50 basis points, nothing's going to be a surprise. The real question is what's happening going forward. Is this a one and done cut, or is this the start of a cutting cycle? That is the real thing that markets are looking into right now. But either way, we're going to be printing on altcoins as we always do. Avantis absolutely exploding. As I said, I gave the VIP call at 28 cents. It is absolutely exploding. And I want to talk a little bit about what the project actually does, because I think this has insane potential. Even from the current valuation, 167 mil market cap, it is still an incredibly, incredibly discounted price. Let's just draw a comparison here and do Avantis to Hyperliquid. And you can see if Avantis goes to Hyperliquid's market cap, that is a 95x on your money from the current valuation of Avantis to the all-time high valuation of Hyperliquid. Crazy, crazy ROI. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I don't believe it will happen. But this is what retail is going to believe. Retail is going to be believing that it's going to 100x, and that's what's going to drive up a lot of the price. They're going to say Hyperliquid did it, so why can't Avantis? And that's one of the things that drives up valuations, right? Is when everyone's speculating and everyone's looking at previous coins and saying, that did it, why can't this? And you've definitely got that case with Avantis. It's on base, and it is essentially a perps DEX for crypto, and not only crypto, but for real world assets as well. So really, really bullish on it. You've got all these different things you can trade on there. You can trade Coinbase stock. You can trade the NASDAQ. You can trade the S&P 500. You can trade Forex pairs, the US dollar to the yen, the euro to the dollar, pound to the dollar, all these different currencies, which are all going to zero compared to Bitcoin. But anyway, I know a lot of people, they do Forex trading, right? The same principles of trading apply to Forex as they do to crypto. Then you got commodities. So basically, that is what Avantis is. It's a crypto DEX where you can use leverage. And man, crazy volume. Crazy, 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 crazy volume. $666 million of volume for a $168 million market cap coin. That is astonishing. And you know where you heard it first. Now I'm noticing a plethora of other YouTubers talking about Avantis. Can you believe it? I wonder where they got it from. Seems like it always happens, right? I give a call to my VIP members. They make a ton of money. And then it's always a rush from the other YouTubers to try and steal the pick. Because they want to get the credit. They want to get the glory. Seems like it always happens. Do you know how many YouTubers started talking about Troll after it started pumping? Where were they when it was super cheap when I was talking about it? Because I buy things when they're cheap. I buy things when they're low. I buy in the fear. When everyone's fearful, when everyone's thinking it's over, that's when I buy. All these other YouTubers, they buy after it pumps. They want the confirmation bias of a pump. So 28 cents, genius buy. The chart looked primed when I checked it out. I want to give a shout out to Eric Wallen for reminding me about this coin. But I went and did some research, did a deep dive, ticked all my boxes. You know, if you're on the bundle, right? If you're on the bundle, you have access to my full in-depth cryptocurrency master course where I go over everything you need to know about crypto and my personal research methodology and all the secrets I have that have warranted the success I've had in crypto. You'll know about my checklist. You'll have it as a document. You would have seen my checklist. And it ticks all the boxes on my checklist. So incredible project and an incredible entry. And this is just the beginning, guys. We're going to see so many other projects leave the station. I was noticing that Peak started pumping lately. This one's up 22% today, and it's up 63% in the last week. This is a deep in layer 1 project with great connections, great VC backing, and solid partnerships. So it's a layer 1 for deep in networks. So look how low it is compared to its all-time high. This thing's going to shoot up really, really fast, I think. And you're buying it incredibly cheap compared to its all-time high. So Peak is the next one, in my opinion, to make a bit of a move. In fact, it's already leaving the station now. But it all comes down to this. It all comes down to what's going on next week on Wednesday. Not only the Fed's decision, but more importantly, what Powell comes out and says. If he really presses on the weak labor market, if he uses that as an excuse to cut or a reason to cut, markets are going to soar subsequent to the meeting. If, however, he downplays the chances of rate cuts and he goes on this tangent about how the economy is fine and it doesn't need rate cuts, then markets will dump. So I'm just telling you straight up. It's I don't know if it's 50-50, but it's an uncertain date. And I'll be live streaming the FOMC on this channel, so make sure you're staying tuned for that. But it's very much an uncertain date. It could be the beginning of the next major move up where we see price discovery mode for a bunch of altcoins, or it could be the start of a bit of a correction. We'll have to wait and see. I'm personally more optimistic than I am pessimistic, but I'm not naive to think that there's a chance that it could be a sell the news, right? So things are looking good right now. VIPs, very, very happy. They've been printing. They've been printing crazy. And these are my top cryptos right now. Looking good. Looking ready for the next leg up. Also, potential trade opportunity on Casper if you can catch this breakout. Still below the resistance right now. But if it gets to around 10 cents, this is going to be a really good potential long opportunity on a breakout trade. Still not there yet, but if it gets there, it's going to be a great one. But yeah, Avantis has been insane. It's been insane. This could be one of my best calls of the cycle, maybe. I know we made a 24x on Troll lately. I know I called Sui at the bottom, but this one might be a 30x from my entry point. It really might. Anyway, smash the likes on the streams. I'm going to have to pull up the comments this way, unfortunately, because my streaming software is not allowing me to see the comments. So I have to do it this way, but smash the likes. 37 likes, over 200 people watching. If you hit up the likes, it helps with the algorithm, gets more people aware of the channel. Just join the VIP community right before your Avantis call. Quickest 2x I've ever made. You're amazing, Archie. Wow, Zayed. Very happy. Sheikh Zayed. I drive on that road every day. Archie, lots of hype over Volt on Sol. Can you please take a look? Yeah, appreciate the donation. Let's take a look. Hopefully it's nothing that's no good. Volt XYM XVM, is it? So no centralized exchange listings. Big, big, big red flag for me. If you're buying a coin that doesn't have listings, it's just a pure gamble. So it's an RWA project that can't even afford a centralized exchange listing. I would stay away unless there's a reason for that. Look, it's very easy to know if a team's bullshitting you. If they're claiming to be an RWA project, they should at least have 20 exchanges. Like, look at Avantis, right? Look at the exchange listings it has. Really, really good exchanges. Coinbase, BitGet, Bybit, Mexi, all those exchanges. It has them all. We know they're not a fraud. We know they're not bullshitting us. We know they're an actual project that means business, that's serious. You know, you can talk all the talk as a project, but you need the results. The same way an influencer can talk about their membership, you need the results. I have the results, right? Most other YouTubers, unfortunately, do not. But yeah, you need exchange listings if you're going to be a serious project. If not, then I can't take you too seriously. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I want to join the VIP, but don't know if I can make profit with $100 portfolio. You can make profit for sure, but it's obviously $100 portfolio is not going to be something that's going to make you financially free. Unfortunately, I'd recommend trying to get that dollar amount higher if you can. Let's see if there's any donations just to make sure I haven't missed any. Okay, there's a few. So Ben Shaw drops a $2 Canadian donation. How much will a 1% drop on Bitcoin dominance affect alts? It depends, man. You can't really answer this question because it depends whether the drop on dominance is through alts going down or alts going up, right? So like you could have a drop on dominance whilst altcoins are still going down on their USD pairs. Just they're not going down as much as Bitcoin. Right? That's what dominance is. It just measures the relationship between altcoins and Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin drops 5% and altcoins drop 2%, dominance would in fact go down. So it just depends, man. It really depends. Can't really answer that question, unfortunately. But if you're talking about on the way up, there may be a 1% drop on dominance. You'd be looking at 5%, 5 to 7% on a lot of the altcoins we hold. Maybe 10% on some of them. 1% drop on dominance is a big deal, by the way. But I think it will drop more than 1%. What I'm looking at dominance is these lower fib levels, these lower macro fibs. And no one's called dominance like me, by the way. So if you want to listen to a guy on dominance, I recommend listening to me. Obviously, do your own research as well. But I've nailed this chart from beginning to end. Will the same alts pump? And will it be a mini alt season like 2024 or go parabolic because of rate cuts? So we had multiple rate cuts in 2024, right? So I don't know if that's necessarily the thing that's going to make us go parabolic. You need good sentiment as well, and you need consumers who are strong because they need disposable income, to create that FOMO. So rate cuts alone won't necessarily explode us, right? We also need strong consumers with disposable income to deploy to altcoins. That's what really creates that parabolic retail-driven alt season. Also, what's my thoughts on Alien Base? It's not on crypto rank. By the way, we're getting a little uptick in the last hour on the alts. Man, what's this Alien Base? Alien Base? Oh, this one. My bad. So, Alien Base. I've heard of this, but I don't know what it does. But the listings are terrible. Guys, look. How can a project be out? Let's just see if there's any centralized exchange listings. No. Please tell me seriously. Seriously, please tell me. How can a project be out for more than 1 year, a year and a half, and not have a single centralized exchange listing? You seriously have to be a broke team or just a fraud of a project. One of the two. Because either you're failing these background checks that exchanges are doing, or you don't have the money to pay up. One of the two. Top holder owns 47% of the supply. Let's check that. Yeah, you need exchange listings, man. Especially if you've been around for a year. Maybe if you've been around for a week, I can cut you some slack. But a year? What have you been doing as a team? And by the way, this isn't a wallet. This is a contract. Like, this is not just a person's wallet. People really need to learn this. This really annoys me. People are so inept at reading wallets. It drives me crazy. This guy needs to educate himself on crypto. AVCE, whatever the hell that name is. He needs to learn crypto. I'm sick and tired of this now. People not knowing how to read the difference between a regular wallet like this, OX2D, and a contract wallet, which is likely a vesting schedule address. It's so frustrating. People say it all the time. I'll have a project and someone will be like, the top wallet has 40% of the supply. It's not a person's wallet. It is the vesting contract for the tokens that haven't come out yet. Let's say a project has a 50% circulating supply. That means 50% of the tokens are in circulation and another 50% are not in circulation. The 50% that are not in circulation usually will be in a contract, in a vesting vault, in a vault address. So I'm sick of that. Like, people shouldn't have, I mean, they should, because I believe in free speech, but it's just frustrating when people broadcast such nonsense. Learn how to read wallets. But yeah, in terms of the project, I'm not happy with the exchanges. Please drop a like on the stream, guys, if you're enjoying so far. Big Papa with the $10, appreciate it, says, thank you, Archie, for your willingness to share so much free alpha content with your YouTube community. I got Avantis at 61 cents from your suggestion and already up $2,000 in profit. Thank you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. You got it at 61 cents. I mean, you know, still a decent entry, but I gave the call at 28 cents. So I assume you're not in the VIP. But anyway, I appreciate the kind words. And yeah, you know, I give a lot of free alpha. I give a lot of free alpha. So I do appreciate the kind words, and thanks for the $10. Yeah, it just frustrates me, you know, when people have this know-it-all attitude and they really don't know much at all. Like that guy on CoinMarketCap chatting nonsense. Because that's just FUD to people. Now, I don't really like the project Alien Base from what I've seen. I don't even know what it is, right? But it doesn't tick my boxes. But this type of comment of 47% of the supply in one wallet, it's just nonsense. It's not a regular person's wallet. It's the vesting. You see it all the time. People fudding projects with that argument. It's all about the exchange listings. Yeah, I mean, it's not all about it, but it's certainly an important thing. Backing and exchanges are very important when you're researching a project. If you've provided no venture capitalist fundraising and you've got no centralized exchange listings, it's the equivalent of a business with no connections, no network. If I'm going to invest in a business, I want the business to have money. I want them to be liquid. I want them to be able to invest in marketing, be able to invest in partnerships, deals, stuff like that, right? I don't want to invest in a company that's broke. What's the point in that? It's the same in crypto. Do I think we're going to have a dump after the 17th? Honestly, I do not know. We might have an initial bit of volatility, maybe an initial dump, followed by a very quick comeback rally. It's going to be very interesting to see. And I'm going to be more reactive than predictive. I'm not going to try and necessarily predict the move. I mean, I'll make some form of a predictive assumption, right? But I'll be more reactive to what's going on with the charts. I'm not going to try and predict it right now. It's going to be difficult. But the way things are looking for this weekly close, it's looking like altcoins are about to absolutely soar in the next few weeks. That's how it's looking. The indicators I use are flashing. I use the chart prime indicators as a link down below for anyone who's interested in the indicators I use. Let me pull this up on the daily here. So Solana got a buy signal here. These indicators work very good on the daily and the low time frames. So it gave a buy signal here. It's been in a long this whole time. Say, did it give a buy signal on say? Yeah, look at that buy. Look at that buy signal on say all the way down there. Basically at the price I bought, 15 cents. So all the coins are looking good. Like all the coins are looking good with the indicators I use. And just my own analysis, everything's looking primed for a big move up. The only little point of concern is total 3. Dominance looks fine. Bitcoin looks fine. Total 3 just needs to get above this resistance. Once it does, I'm just going to be completely de-stressed. It's going to be amazing. Going to be able to sleep really well at night once total 3 gets above that resistance. But until it does, it's causing a tiny bit of stress. I mean, I'm not really a guy who's prone to stress, I'll be honest with you. I have very little stress. My resting heart rate is about 46 beats per minute, 46 to 42. So I'm not stressed at all. I'm usually too relaxed, to be quite honest with you. But this is just causing a little bit of potential worry. Okay, I'm not trying to FUD here. I'm not trying to say that it will come down. But as it's looking, it's sitting just below that resistance. And we wicked up to it and rejected. But I just think it's too early to make an assumption that it's going to come back down now. Because we still have next week, which is the big week. And the RSIs are super low. Like look at the RSIs on the weekly. This can't be the top, you know. This surely it's not going to have another top here and then come back down a lot. But that's the only concern. Every time we've hit this level and rejected, it's been followed by a major crash. See? Hit the level, huge crash. Hit the level for a double top, huge crash. Hit the level. Now we're on a triple top. Potentially. But I believe this will be the time we push above. And when we do that, the altcoins are going to fly. It's going to be insane. What that's going to do for the altcoins will be crazy. Because it's in a giant cup and handle. My targets, we're looking at the 1.618 at 1.46 trillion and the 2.618 just below 2 trillion. We're looking at a big move up on the overall altcoin market cap here. Now, for those of you who are interested, I recommend getting on that VIP membership before the price hike. There's been a huge influx in demand for my memberships because of how profitable my calls have been. 2x's, 3x's, just in like a day or two. I mean, it's been absolutely insane. People are accusing me of being an insider. People are accusing me of being part of the cabal, saying that I have insider connections, insider information. I don't, but there's this big rumor that's been circulating that I have insider information, insider connections, and I'm part of these huge groups of people that run the markets. Honestly, I'm not. I'm just a normal kid from the UK who did well with crypto. I'm not part of any larger organization. So can put that rumor to bed, but there's been a few people suggesting that lately. Because the calls are too accurate. It's unbelievable to some people. They join the group, they pay off the bundle within a day. They make their yearly salary within a week of being in the group. That's what's been happening lately. Now, it doesn't mean it will 100% happen for you. Okay? Not saying anything's a guarantee here. I'm going to be transparent with you, but from what people have been saying, the results have been Insane. We're going to be doing a voice chat tonight, more or less straight after this live stream. It might be 10 minutes after, but after this live stream, I'm going to be doing a voice chat, hosting a voice chat with all my VIP members, and we're going to be going over some charts in a little bit more detail. We're going to be looking at charts on a lot of altcoins, even altcoins I don't hold, looking at some potential future buy alerts. I'll be showing you the chart of my latest buy alert, the secret gem, which I think is going to move up a lot in the coming days and weeks. In fact, it's already started moving up a little bit. So it's going to be a very insightful call. I love doing the calls. I love doing them a lot more than live streams, to be honest with you. If I had it my way, I would just only do VIP calls all day. But people want live streams because I love talking to the members. There's a lot of genius, high IQ individuals in there who bring a lot of value. Say prediction, $4 or $5. I don't believe it'll hit that. My bull market year-end target for say is between $1 and $2. That's been my target all along, but I've said in an ultra bullish scenario, it could potentially hit $3. But my bull market targets are between 1 and 2. What do I think about Corpo World? It's all right, but just seems like it's kind of got a broke team, you know? They don't have a lot of money. Yeah, vault address. Yeah, man. So many people put comments on my YouTube videos. Oh, this coin's got a 20% supply in one wallet. I'm like hitting my head on a wall, you know, just every single time. There's someone. There's always that one guy trying to tell me, oh, one wallet has 20% of the supply. One wallet has 50% of the supply. Making out as if it's just a random Tom, Dick, or Harry. Makes me want to hit my head on a wall because it happens all the time. Like every time I find a new gem, there's always that one guy saying, there's 50% of the supply in one wallet. It's a scam. And I'm like, no, it's the vault for the vesting schedule. You know those tokens that aren't in circulation yet? For the unlocks? Yeah, that's where they're held. I just wish more people knew that. I don't know if some influencers are just spreading FUD with that whole one wallet controls the supply thing, but it would really be good if people were educated on that matter. We'd have less FUD unnecessarily. When alternative season? What's an alternative season? I assume you mean alt season, my friend. And we are in altcoin season right now, according to the altcoin season index. And according to Bitcoin dominance, of course, which has been in a sustained downtrend now for months. As you can see, the CoinGlass alt season index is flashing alt season. It is flashing that we are in an alt season and we're, in the beginning stages of one, you could say. Now, some of these alt seasons have different durations. Some of them last 4 months, 5 months. Some of them last a couple weeks. So it's really unknown how long this one will last. But once it kind of leaves this blue bar, things are going to get worse, okay? There's going to be a dump. Because pretty much every time you see it get into the blue bar and then lose it, shit hits the fan. It gets bad. So very rarely does it come up, stay in the alt season index period, come down, and then go straight back in. It usually is followed by a harsh correction on the altcoins, as you can see here. I mean, look at this, right? How many times has it actually gone and hit it and then had a little correction and then come back up? Very rarely does it do that. Usually once it enters, it enters, and then usually once it leaves, it's not coming back for a while. And you can bet there's going to be a large scale correction with the altcoins. And that's going to be a great opportunity to short altcoins. That's where you make money on the way down. And I'm really strongly a big believer in my ability to short coins. I had great success with it last bear market, shorting coins like Luna on the way down, shorting Bitcoin on the way down, and most successfully the FTX crash. I shorted the token for FTX, FTT token, shorted it into the dirt, into the ground. So if you want to short in the bear market, get yourself ready with Blowfin. There's a link down below, and there's a huge promo on right now, limited time promo. I think it'll be gone pretty soon, where you can potentially claim $1,000 in bonuses. But make sure you use my link because it's only exclusive to me. Check H-bar. I'm bullish on H-bar. It's looking good. What's my moderate prediction for render this bull run? Good question. I haven't looked at render in a little while. Moderate prediction would be a double top. So let's just call it $13 would be like my moderate prediction. Basically just a double top on render. But then a bull case would be coming up to some of the fib extensions, maybe. That would be my bull case. Like $17 to $20 would be my bull case, and then like, $13 would be my moderate case. When a coin's dumped this much, sometimes it just doesn't come up for a new high. A lot of the time it will simply just double top, right? I mean, it could blast through it, but if you compare render to Aerodrome, render's been a lot slower to get off the ground here. You'd hope it would be at $5, $6, $7 by now, but unfortunately it's still below $4. But I still think render will do some nice gains. Am I going to enter that long on Say? I'm really torn. Like, I know it's going to go up, and that's why I've got such a nice spot bag on Say. But do I go and long it? That's going to be a big topic of discussion after this live stream in the voice chat in the Discord. Man, let's notify everyone about the voice chat in the Discord right now. Let me just send out a little notification here. So we'll get a bunch of people on the voice chat. This is going to be a big one. I have a feeling there's going to be like 200 people in here, maybe more. See, people are already joining. I have a feeling this is going to be a big voice chat. There's going to be so many people in here. So I'll be starting that in 10 to 15 minutes. You can join just in time. But yeah, it's going to be a big week coming up, guys. And I'll be streaming the FOMC on Wednesday, giving you all my analysis and insights on that. But even leading into this, there's going to be some volatility as we potentially front run the first rate cut of the year, and most likely many more rate cuts to come subsequently. But yeah, make sure you follow me on X as well. I mean, man, look what a cool Avantis was. Let me know in the chat, guys. Do you think Avantis is going to be the next NYX or Hyperliquid? Do you think Avantis could potentially produce a 95x from here? Or do you think maybe you're a little bit more conservative and you think it will go to NYX's all-time high, which is still an 18x from here, guys. 18 times on your money. 1 grand goes to 18 grand. 18.8K. If it goes to the MYX all-time high. Which one? Do you think it goes to MYX or do you think it goes to Avantis? I think more likely the MYX target. Did I say Avantis? I meant Hyperliquid. Will it go to a Hyperliquid's market cap? Yeah, you think it will? Easy 20x. 20x from my buy alert or 20x from now? Because if you're referring to my buy alert, so we're currently sat at 8.3. This is insane. How much we printed on this in just a few days. And I told the VIPs, this is a high conviction play. This has the potential to be a high conviction play. So people went heavy. This was not like a little throw in $10. That was not what this alert was. This was an alert where I gave people conviction. I told them this is going to be a big deal. I told them straight up. So basically a 3x right now, we're up on our money. 2.96x. So let's just call it a 3x. If it does a 20x from here, you'd be looking at 60x on your money. 59x on your money if it does a 20x from here. Crazy. 60x from the buy signal. 2 grand goes to 120 grand. And I know some guys who put in 20K into the coin just based off the buy signal. So let's just work that out. 20K times by 60. That'd be 1.2 million off 20K. That's like retirement money from 20K. Yeah, exactly, Eric. Arrow does the spot. Avantis does the leverage. Plus, Avantis does real-world assets. That's something which a lot of people forget. Avantis is doing real-world assets as well. Oil, gold, Forex pairs. Hit the likes. Yep, let's get up the likes. If Avantis does a 5x, I'll be happy. Yeah, because that'll be a 15x from the buy signal. So still great gains. And even if you're just buying now, a 5x is still commendable, right? About to buy the membership. Nice, bro. Just in time for the voice chat, which I'm going to be doing in about 5 to 10 minutes. Just in time. Yeah, there'll be new buy alerts. There'll be new buy alerts coming soon. We're going to discuss that actually in the voice chat. Some potential new buy alerts. We'll be doing some research on some and looking at some charts. Man, very excited for what's to come. Next week's going to be huge. Super excited for it. I'm going to be giving you daily content. And I'll be uploading on the second channel as well. If you're not subscribed to Crypto Archie Plus, make sure you are. I'm going to be uploading on there some extra altcoin updates. Let me know which coins you want me to do update videos on. Archie, you're the man. I'm joining your Discord group. Thanks to Avantis. What are your thoughts on Aether? I'm bullish on Aether. I think it's all right. I don't hold it, though. And just in time for the voice chat as well, Harrison. Yeah, when I open up shorts on the way down in the bear market, I will be dropping those alerts in the Discord. I'll be letting the VIPs know. Anyway, appreciate everyone here watching. I've got a call to get to with the VIPs, so I'll be over there. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of